it's not tissue.
What the? We're live! Hi! Welcome to Northwest Brewmeisters. I'm Jamey.
I'm Steve.
We're two guys, Pacific Northwest. Think you like beer?
And you should too.
Ooh, slowing it down.
Throttle back.
All right. Welcome to another crazy day of brewing beer.
Wait, we're weird, man, because we broadcasted 2 Sundays in a row.
Well, it's because of life.
Life got in the way.
That's what
Actually,
makes it crazy.
Weather got in the way.
Well, yeah, the frozen chill water does. It's like, oh yeah, that's chilled, all right.
Right. But we broadcasted last week for anybody who didn't cash in. We did it live from Jamey's studio, and we just had a nice fireside chat. Played some Kumbaya.
Without a fire. Kumbaya.
You know,
I am insulted. I worked hard on that song.
no, that's right. We played a beer song.
We played the beer song. We proved that we actually wrote this song.
Right.
And it was fantastic. Although the audio was horrible because
Yeah, it was just plain. We didn't have a microphone set up. We were just using the computer microphone.
No. I had a nice
you have a mic?
mic. I had my.
Oh, I didn't realize you had a room
I
mic
realized
set up.
a $500 mic is not really amazing, but still, it's better than the mic on that laptop.
It's better than a Fisher Price microphone.
No, what happened is that
Microphone.
we clipped.
Oh,
Which
we're
is
too loud.
too loud, and so
Yeah.
then Facebook's algorithm kicked in and applied compression, and all the streaming compressions. Oh, you want to
That's
avoid it like the plague because the
Yeah.
guitar went away, the voices woof, and it was just. I was upset. That's why we had to drink so much beer after we were done.
We had to self-medicate.
Self-medicate.
But the good news is, our dear viewers and game playing listeners, Jay, that was for you. We finished recording the vocals yesterday, in fact, and we're gonna run. Are we good with that? Are we gonna keep those, or do we want to re-record something?
No. That last shot was fine.
We're gonna roll with it.
That is
There
gonna-
was a concern with the one part because it felt like the music kind of drowned out my
All right.
voice.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
cheat a little and fix it in the mix, as it were.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the music overload, and it was every single take. I noticed that every single take, that one line when you said it was one of Steve's vocals. Every single take when you said that line, it's just like the music drowned it, and it's like, and that's a funny line. It's like it's kind of an important line, and you get it's like you get the last part of it. So, but like I said, I'm gonna fix it in the mix. If I can't, then we'll go back, we'll bounce in, we'll figure out something.
We just record that one section at least,
Yeah,
along with the click track, and it should be fine. And I was just like, if I have to, I'll just like stand right next to the microphone, a little bit more close to the microphone,
just
so it doesn't drown out.
yeah. But I think I can. I mean, you notice when we were playing the EQ, your voice kind of came forward a little bit, and you just kind of bumped into certain frequency ranges.
Couple envelopes, and it'll work, man. It'll work.
I mean, you're into recording a little bit too, and as you get deeper, you'll see things where the frequency ranges is like, this is clarity, this is your boominess, this is your depth, et cetera, et cetera. They have different ranges, do different things. So I just kind of kicked you up in the 1 in 3,000 zone, and it kind of brings the sharpness forward.
So the point being that now that we have these vocals recorded, we just need to do the mixing and the mastering and actually publish the song. So for the last year or so, we've been promising this. We're finally going to deliver.
Yeah. And then we'll have to go on tour.
We'll have to finish the other 4 songs that are planned for the album.
Exactly. So I'm sharing away. So why don't you tell them about your beer?
Okay, last brew day, not last broadcast, but the last brew day, I think I mentioned doing a stout. And I was going to formulate my own recipe, but I just didn't get around to doing that. Life got in the way as usual. And so I just went with one of the recipes from our friends over at Northwest Brewer Supply, I'm doing their Stilly Stout, which kind of beats all the wickets for what I wanted to do, but I'm modifying it slightly. But here we go. Dark and rich with a complex roast malt profile. Speaking's hard today. The high gravity beer is one to put aside for a while and taste the progress as it ages. So yes, this one I think I'll take my time on it. As far as the secondary fermentation goes, I might let it go 2 cycles actually than the regular 2 weeks, and just let it really age for a while, and then drink on it slowly in the keg once it's kegged, and see if I can make this one last throughout the rest of the the colder weather up here. It's going to have an original gravity of 1.084, a final gravity of 1.021, which is equates to just a little bit over 8% ABV. So this will be a strong one. Hopefully it's a warmer. The idea is you take a sip and you just kind of feel that warmth in your body, and while the bones are chilled out here. IBUs are 62, so it's not going to be incredibly bitter. What I'm doing is I'm adding cacao nibs during secondary fermentation to give it to give it kind of a chocolatey taste to it, kind of a chocolate malt, maybe not really chocolate malt, but it's kind of a chocolate flavor. So it should be fun. I'm not making a full-on chocolate stout, but I just want to add some chocolate tones to it. So the kit inventory consists of ½ pound of chocolate malt, which I believe. No, I don't. You know what? I don't think this is British chocolate because the new guy made the grain bill for me. And
Yes.
I bet he doesn't know that.
Reed.
Yeah.
Reed.
Yeah, I bet Reed didn't know that I go with the British chocolate. Then maybe he did.
Yeah.
So
Who knows?
the recipe calls for ½ pound of chocolate malt. I prefer the British chocolate malt because I think it just adds a little bit better character. ½ pound of Crystal 120, so it's obviously going to be quite a dark beer. Like again, talking's hard today. Quite a dark beer.
How many have you had?
I had one beer before I came out, before we started setting up.
By the way, that's totally why we were like 6 minutes late, because Steve.
Yeah, it's totally my fault. I was at band practice, and then
He
I
was
was enticed with the
beer.
beer, and I just had to have a beer. And
Actually, when he said that, I was like, all is forgiven.
right. So ½ pound of Crystal 120, so it's going to be dark. ½ pound of black malt, which is going to add even more darkness to it, and then a ½ pound of roasted malt, which will give it a little bit of a, toasted character maybe. It'll add even maybe a slight bit of redness in there, which may not be visible because the beer itself will be so dark with the crystal and the black malt. This is an extract kit, so I did not make my own malts. I'm using 6.6 pounds of golden light malt extract, and 3.3 pounds of Munich light malt extract, and 1 pound of golden dry malt extract. So this is going to be pretty heavy with the fermentables. That's why it's going to have such a high ABV. My hops are 2 ounces of Northern Brewer at the 60-minute mark, and then 1 ounce of Northern Brewer again at the 15-minute remaining mark. I'm not going to bother with Royal Flock or anything. I don't care if it's the clarity, because it's just a dark beer. It won't really matter in this
You
case.
wouldn't be able to see.
Plus, it's going to sit. So I'm going to let this one sit longer, so that'll help clarify it as well, even though it's dark.
What's your temperature, by the way?
Almost there.
Oh, okay.
But actually, I could probably start here in a second. So my yeast is white yeast 1028 London Ale, and this will do its job between 60 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty much what my house stays at during the winter. And that's it. The instructions are similar to any other video you've ever watched. If you've caught us on replays in the past, I'm going to steep my grain, which I'm going to go ahead and get in there now. This will go for about 30 minutes at between 150 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I will get my malts in there, which are in hot water, to loosen them up a little bit.
Good idea.
Good idea, man. I'm going to turn my temperature down, my fire down, and try to maintain.
All right, so on to
Grain's
my
still
beer.
good.
So I am making the Newcastle clone that I've made many times and will make in the future. Although I gotta be honest, I want to think about making like a sour brown and then some sort of amber and blending them and getting closer to the original Newcastle recipe. It might take some work and some figuring out, because I've never had the original Newcastle, so I don't know what it tastes like. So I just have to rely on you. Drink this. Drink this now. Drink this. No, please stop. It's terrible. Okay, well, drink the rest of it so that I have the keg back.
Right?
I don't want to drink it. So anyways, but this is a pretty decent clone of the modern Newcastle brewed by Lagunitas down in California. Lagunas. Yes, if you're in the South, apparently the I and the T are silent.
At least in the Southeast.
Down in Florida. In any case, the recipe officially says 5.5 pounds of dry malt extract. We go 6.6 because that's the way the bags come. 12 ounces of 55 London crystal malt, 1.5 ounces of black malt, 1.5 ounces of chocolate malt, which is probably just regular chocolate malt also. Because again, Reed doesn't know
us yet, yeah.
We're fussy and picky and insufferable. And then 4 ounces of torrefied. I never noticed the typo in this website. Torrefied wee hot.
Wee hot. Huh?
Wee hot.
Ah,
I don't know what wee hot is.
what is wee hot?
Perhaps that's why it's not exact, because I've been using wheat,
Not
and
wee
I
hot.
needed to find wee hot.
Man, what were you thinking?
I was, letting my brain fill in. It's like I blame the American Homebrewers Association.
Yeah, right.
1 ounce of Kent Goldings at the 90-minute mark. This is a 90-minute boil, which is why Steve goes first. Because if it's both an hour, I go first because my pot gets hot faster. Everything happens faster. There's a fast pot. Steve has a slow, controlled pot.
Marginally controlled
It
pot.
paces itself. Well, that's true. It's slow and controlled, and then it freaks out when we open the garage
It's
door.
ridiculous how sensitive the damn thing is,
Wait, and we make it past 30 seconds? Okay, we're allowed to swear.
Oh, it was damn.
And you said it again! Okay, I know, that's not even a word anymore. We can talk about swearing later, because I want to finish my recipe. Anyways, 1 ounce of East Kent Goldings at the 30-minute mark. So this is not a hoppy beer. I mean, adding hops at the 30-minute mark, you're going to get, no aroma. That's just like an extra bittering hop at that point. As you know from that one IPA where you added your hop schedule and you had your bittering, and I was telling you, I was like, I don't know,
It's
Steve.
gonna be too bitter. And it was way too bitter.
Yeah, and it was not hoppy. It's like onions. Why yeast 1028? Maybe, I don't think so, because along with that cold weather that stopped us from brewing beer, it also stopped trucks from delivering beer supplies.
Yeah, logistics were
So-
halted for a bit there.
We had to make some substitutions all over the place. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
I don't think mine is the original.
nope, your
I
yeast
have
is
an
a
alternate.
substitution.
Yeah,
They're
that's
both
right.
substitutions.
No, I forgot. they're smacked. I just can't remember what it was, man.
It's okay. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Like one of our favorite movie critics says, it'll be fine. Fine. Don't sue us. Don't sue us. We are a small channel. We only have 3 loyal viewers, one of which is really not that loyal. We have 2 loyal viewers. Don't sue us. No suing. Anyhow, yeah. And so that's my beer. You realize that this recipe has been sitting, this tab has been open for over a year or more. When's the first time because I haven't closed this tab in order to hang on to this recipe.
That's interesting.
Wow.
That it actually lasted that long and that didn't get closed or whatever.
Exited out or anything.
Right.
Well, unlike my computer, when I shut this all the way off, the browser still remembers all the tabs.
Yeah, this is mine. Yeah.
My computer doesn't. If I shut it off, that's it. All tabs are gone. You're gone. So, anyways, that's my beer, and
All right.
it's going to be great, and my wife's going to love it because for some reason we can find 3 6-packs of Newcastle ale in this town every 2 weeks or so, maybe 3 weeks. And that's
is that even gonna be the case anymore? Or do you find it? Are you finding it at other places?
No, I've
the
only
old source
found
is
it.
gone now.
I only found it at one store. Well, the Exchange still has it.
But they do. Okay, that's what I mean.
Mhm. But it's like 2, maybe 3
Oh.
6-packs. I buy them all right away
Right,
because they're
right.
not coming back.
Yeah.
I guess maybe Wendy is the only person in this town that likes it.
Possibly.
Possibly. That would understand. That would
I mean,
explain it.
we were drinking it when there was nothing else to drink, but
Right.
we would drink it.
I like it. I don't think it's bad. I know
It's
you.
not bad. I prefer the original
Well, that's because
Newcastle.
you remember the original Newcastle. I don't.
Just this new Newcastle is just kind of weird to me. I mean, it's not like I'm
All modern.
not like I don't appreciate the beer when I get one, but it's
Indoor
just like,
plumbing,
it's just-
electric lights.
yeah, it's just
It's not like the old Newcastle.
What was another beer that? Oh, my mom figure. She really used to like the Fat Tire beer.
Okay. Yeah.
From New Belgium Brewery,
Mhm.
the Amber Ale.
Yep.
And
I'm
she
aware
stopped
of Fat
drinking
Tire.
it because they reformulated their recipe for modern audiences. Wait, that's already taken.
Yeah. Please don't sue us. Please,
They,
please don't sue us.
But all jokes aside, though, New Belgium formulated their recipe for like a more modern drink or whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so she's just like, I don't like this anymore. So she was asking me for recommendations on amber ales. I said, well, you could try X, Y, and Z. And I feel dumb because I can't remember what I recommended, but it's kind of standard style amber ales that are out there,
Sure.
And she tried one of them. She really liked it, but I just can't. I remember saying that I liked it, but I can't remember what it was now. That's all right, though. Point is, these breweries are changing their recipes to try to appeal to modern drinkers, but I don't know what that means, you know. But my taste are, I mean, obviously everybody has individual taste, but I mean, can a beer not taste good to me as opposed to a 21-year-old, you know?
Or can you just like not make a new beer?
Yeah, make a different beer.
I make new beers every time I make a beer.
Don't
Even
take a time-honored
when I
beer.
take a time-honored recipe that I have, it's a new beer because I screwed up somehow.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, why, you know, yeah, big name brewery. Why don't you not change something that's been established for 30, 40 plus years and make a new beer for your modern drinkers? You know.
I just don't. It's like I don't understand. It's just like what. It's like you got all these styles of beer. It's like we're gonna change this beer, so the name is going to attract that. Well, I guess even in the beer world, that is true.
Names and can art and bottle art.
It's like here's a really good amber ale. Here's a fat tire. I'll take the fat tire. This stuff is not that good anymore. This is really good. I've tasted it. Take the fat tire because the guy knows. He's not like us, a couple of beer snobs. And he's like, oh, notes and graced with and floral aroma and hoppy character. Barnyard. But seriously, I think a lot of people, just in general, I mean, the craft beer industry is strong. And I think there's a lot of people that like to go to tap rooms and drink these fancy beers.
Yeah,
but
I think there's a lot of people like us who don't just go to get drunk, but they like us. They like to enjoy the flavor of the beer.
But what I was gonna say is, I don't think they analyze the beer as deeply as we do.
Yeah,
right?
It's because we're fanatics about that.
So, for example, they don't drink Bud Light not because they don't like the flavor of Bud Light. Because really, the reason that people bailed on that beer had nothing to do with how that beer tasted.
No, it was the political statement.
It was all the politics, and all of a sudden there's the whole boycott issue, which that's a completely different subject about the fact that boycotts work sometimes.
Yeah.
And both sides of the aisle have figured it out. And so now we can't get anything we want because everybody's boycotting somebody for something.
Boycotting now is the new canceling.
Yes.
Even though boycott has been around for hundreds of years. But point is, now it's trendy to boycott.
Right. It's trendy to boycott.
We don't cancel anymore. Now we boycott.
Yeah. Although we still cancel though.
Yeah.
Cancel is like email.
I'll be facetious.
I know. But I'm just saying, cancel is like email. It's become a standard.
Yes.
There's like all these different platforms that they come and they go and they're things, but email is like the telephone, right? So first there's the telephone, which was the new hotness for a while.
Right.
And then after a while, it's like, if you don't have a phone, you're going to struggle getting along.
You're behind.
And then it was email was probably next. And
right. No, fax machines.
Fax machines. Yeah, but you never really had to have a fax machine.
Answering machines became.
Answering machines.
Home
yes.
answering machines.
That was the next thing. You pretty much had to have an answering machine. Yeah. People would be really frustrated if it just rang.
I would have left you a message.
It's like, well, you're talking to me now.
Later.
You could call back later. Yeah. That's it. Anyways, so answering machines. Then email came along.
Email, yeah.
And these are all, and these are all examples of things that when they came out, they were kind of like, yeah, this is the new cool thing. Is it trendy? And it established itself as very solid. Email is solid.
Oh, it became a utility.
Exactly. It's a
I
utility.
can send a quick message.
Yep.
I can write a whole letter.
Right. I can send official documents.
Oh yeah.
I cannot lose all these important papers. Because if you give them to me in paper, I put them on the seat of the Suburban, the Yugo pulls out in front of me, I mash the brakes, they fall off the Suburban onto the muddy floor. I try and clean them, I put them back on the seat, my kid gets in, he cleans the Suburban, he throws them away, I've lost.
That is quite specific. You must have had that happen.
Well, several times.
Several times.
Not critical papers, but just things that it's like.
I had to call the county clerk 15 times for my birth certificate now.
I definitely had to call the county clerk to pay the taxes on my mother's house because the actual invoice here, here, it
disappeared.
It left.
Yeah.
Now, part of this is because my kid likes to get the mail. He likes to get the mail because sometimes his paychecks come in the mail. And he's excited about that because I did one thing right with that kid. I taught him work equals money. Money equals cool things. Right now, his saying is more hours means more money means more Japan. I haven't broken it to him that no matter what, we're only going 2 weeks to Japan. It's just like you could have, doesn't matter how many hours and how much money you have, we only do 2 weeks because dad can only afford to get away for 2 weeks. But still, He's got it right. So he goes up and gets the mail. He finds his paycheck, and the rest of the mail goes somewhere, including tax bills, medical bills, important stuff.
Everything in the wind.
Yeah, it's like, thanks, Tim. Well, I've actually had to get on his case about it. Like, hey, man, there's important stuff in that mail beyond your paycheck. You need. It's like, what about this? It's like, no, that's a flyer for Ace.
Right.
Buy $500 more
Coupons for
and get $5 off if you come in on the third Tuesday of the second month when the blue moon is full.
After the bells ring.
After the bells ring. It's like, actually, Ace's coupons have gotten a little better, but they're still not great. Sorry, Ace, your full rewards.
So here's your opportunity to
get the phone number thing.
Here's your opportunity for like some constructive feedback.
Yeah, make it.
Capitalize.
Yeah, make it a better system. Make it something that doesn't have all these strings attached to it.
Right. This, for record, I have, for reference purposes, I have 18 minutes remaining on my speak. So it's actually going kind of quick, which is good.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and start because not only do I have to catch up with you, then I also have an hour and a half. What do you think? Should I wait till you're done steeping?
Yeah, just because it takes me forever to get to boil.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
If you don't mind waiting that extra 18 minutes, because it just my boil takes a long time for some reason.
Worst case scenario, we end up, your beer's done and I'm still boiling, and
That's usually how it is with me.
you can scrub the chill pot.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we will. So hey, let's do some plugs. Plug.
Like selfless plugs?
No, not
Shameless
plugs for us. Plugs for other guys.
No, well, that would be a selfless plug then.
A selfless plug? Selfless. Oh,
Selfless.
see, I conflated shameless and selfless.
Shameless would be our plugs.
I'm all about shameless plugs. You should subscribe.
Shameless plugs. You know,
Click the
buy our record
button wherever it is. Yes, our record. Are we?
I don't know. It's more like an EP. But it's gonna be a record. It's a record.
They don't make records anymore.
They do.
Well, they've come back. They're trying to.
You know what else is making a comeback?
Cassette tapes. Yes.
Old school cassette tapes, because of the lo-fi, like this
Yeah,
presentation
people like
and
that.
recording. It's back in style again. Lo-fi recording is back, man. Which whatever. It's kind
Well,
of
here's what's amusing though. You know how they make these lo-fi recordings? Super hi-fi recordings, dithered and put onto lo-fi media. I guarantee you, they're recording at 98,000 kilohertz and
right. Maximum
250 kajillion bit and all the biggest things. They put it on a tape and hope that the tape is what makes it have that nice sound.
I used to like those, like the tape sound, that doo-doo-doo-doo-doo thing that would be like the indicator. I used to always thought that was. At first I thought it was part of the song, and the first time I ever heard that when I was probably like 12. I'm like, part of the song. And then I learned later it's like where it indicates the start and stop of the record, you know.
No, let's do some selfless plugs.
Selfless, yes.
Okay, first plug. Northwest Brewer Supply. Right. We're gonna plug them.
Right.
Because I was actually pleasantly surprised that Ben actually watched like a chunk of like a good chunk of the video.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
yeah, Ben, if you're watching, thanks for checking it out, man.
Thanks for checking it out. We appreciate it.
Yes, Northwest Brewer Supply. That's where we go get our ingredients.
They are in
Burlington, Washington.
Washington. So for any of you that are up here in the Pacific Northwest,
right
up towards the Mount Vernon, Burlington area, they're a great store. They have all the things.
And no, he's not paying us to say this. We
just like Ben.
We like Ben. He's always helped us out, and the store's always
got good advice.
Yeah. You know,
and he watches our videos.
Yeah. And we learned that they have a channel, so
yes, which we subscribe to, by the way. We subscribe. Also, my channel subscribed. Do you have a channel? Did you subscribe?
No, I need to. I have like
shame.
Where's the bell?
There we go, getting sued again.
Do I have to get naked and walk from?
No, please don't. Why did you have to put that image?
Because you had shame with the bell.
I don't. What is that show from?
It's from Game of Thrones.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's the equivalent of like the Mother Teresa of a nun or whatever. I forget what they call. When they convicted the evil queen, and they made her.
Wait,
walk.
All the queens evil?
I guess so. I'm just kind of keeping it general.
Okay, yeah.
Rather than the details.
But
so
they convicted the evil queen.
She had like a trial, and then she was found guilty. And to pay her penance, she had to walk naked from like the chapel up to like the hold or whatever. And the whole time she was doing that head nun was just like, shame with his bell, shame. And she was getting food and crap thrown at her,
Of course, yeah.
kind of like a social justice thing. But yeah, it was very humiliating, It was either that or death kind of thing, and so she chose to walk the shame.
Okay.
And that's where that came from. It became memes and stuff,
I did not know. I thought it was from Handmaid's Tale, which
I mean, maybe it was.
by the way, I haven't seen Handmaid's Tale either, so I
watched the first episode. I couldn't remember if I got into it. I don't think I got into it. I was like, eh.
My thing is, I just don't do shows because one thing when I do shows, I binge watch them. I watch all season one of. I know, but then I'm done. Right. It's like I don't come back to it. It's like I watch it and I'm done.
Pace it out. Brandy and I, we do a couple episodes on the weekend.
I can't. I'm weak.
Oh. Well.
It's like you and being offered a beer, even though you're supposed to be here at 3 and it's 2:30 and you're 40 minutes away.
All right, I got time for one. No, I made it mostly on time. I was 4 minutes late.
You are perfect. I'm just being silly.
No, I know.
But well, the problem is I have no problem. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna scoot around tonight and I'll watch a 2-hour movie. No problem burning that. 8 hours of The Boys. It's like I feel like a heroin addict coming down. It's like, oh, I'm such a horrible person. How could I do that to myself? I actually don't know how heroin addicts feel coming down, but I imagine it's something like that. It's just, or like waking up after drinking too much, even though you're being stupid, and you're just like, man, the last 8 beers I didn't even taste.
Like us that one night.
We did that one night. We
were hanging out. We were hanging out. Oh.
Go ahead.
We were just hanging out, drinking beer one night, and we bought a bunch of fancy beers, and we kind of reached a threshold where we were pretty drunk. I was waiting on a ride. I didn't know, we were just driving. It was a safe night, and we were at Jamey's house, so he didn't have to go anywhere. But we reached a point where we were just so buzzed. We were beyond buzzed. We were drunk. we were drunk, and where we didn't really taste the beer much anymore, and we just kind of stopped talking about stuff. We were just like, eh.
What are those little floaty things? And a smiley face.
Somebody's clicking hearts, maybe?
Oh, you can do hearts and wow!
Ladies and gentlemen, he just learned about technology today.
Shut up.
He was today years old when he learned how YouTube works.
Anyhow, talking about the goodness of us.
Thank you for the hearts.
The hearts and the smiley faces and the other thing. I didn't see what those were. They were like.
No, there's a few. They're like radio broadcasts that they do live like we do, and some of the like membership stuff, which we don't do any of that. But you can add all kinds of stuff in the live chat. Like if you're not going to see it here really because
what's going on there?
I know it's choppy. I don't know what's going on.
Let us know if it's really choppy on your end. We can deal with choppy audio, hopefully, or we can deal with choppy video as long as the audio is good. Because hopefully, it looks like it might be. All right.
That kind of loop, yeah.
There we go.
There's no one else home, so unless there's something going on with the internet infrastructure in my neighborhood. There's no one else at home using the internet. So
whoever you are, lurking harder.
Lurking harder.
Oh my goodness! It's Peter!
Hey, Peter.
Oh, I started to watch I started to listen to your song. I'm gonna come back to it. That's an interesting guitar.
Is this the new song where the artwork is fuzzed out first? I know you posted something.
It's got like a guy with an axe. Dark Age? Is it Dark Age, man?
The artwork was kind of fuzzed out initially. I didn't get a chance to listen to it.
Oh. No, I started to
listen Dark Age. Oh, yeah, Dark. Yeah.
It's with Samira Wilde, but it's Peter singing instead of. What's the one that Jem sings on? Oh, my goodness. You want to talk about sex appeal in a voice. So Peter's wife, Jem, they did another Samira Wilde. So Samira is like a poet.
Oh, okay.
And Peter puts, like he's written music for her poetry.
Right.
And in one, Jem did the vocals, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. Well, I heard part of it, and then Steve showed up, and we're always late to start the broadcast, so I had to turn it off. But I'm going to listen to the whole thing and give you a good, honest critique and stuff because I actually really like your stuff. You have good production.
Let's do that after we're done. After we're done brewing.
If I knew anything about technology, we could like put it because we're using OBS, and you could put what happens to OBS through there.
Today years old.
Not today years old. I knew that a long time ago. I just have never bothered to really learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Dark Age Man.
Dark Age Man, yeah.
Based on Age of Empires album incoming. Ooh, sweet. That'll be awesome.
I used to play Age of Empires when it was new. Like Age of Empires 2, actually, not the original one, the second one, back in the 2001 era, 2002 time frame. So I played 3. I haven't played the 4th one though.
I didn't even know there was more than one. So
yeah, I think Age of Empires 2 has kind of made a resurgence.
Oh, nice.
Because it was fun,
So let me finish our plugs. Northwest Brewers Supply, Ben down there in Mount Vernon. Their link is in the description. Go ahead and click that and visit them if you're in the Pacific Northwest, Mount Vernon area. Invaluable resource for brewing beer, if you ask me. Much better than ordering your stuff online. Go to the store, buy it from them. Excuse me, this is a really good beer. Second plug is their YouTube channel, which is also in the description. Click that link, check it out. They have a lot of like old videos. They're all like wine pairings and stuff, which was kind of cool and good production value. But the short that Ben just put up is really fantastic, and you really should watch it. You will laugh. I laughed, and for like months, Ben thought I was the inspiration to the story he's telling, and he's like, "Yeah, it was you." I was like,
"You're like, no,
I've never bottled beer off the back of a pickup. No, it was someone else, man.
Somebody else."
I mean, I wanted to take credit because it made me feel like a hero, but it was not me.
Well, I mean, this probably sounds obvious, but I believe there's another customer named Jamey, because at times, like when I would go. Like you were working, I would go pick up our equipment. I mean, not equipment, our ingredients. There was your Jamey labeled, bag. There was another Jamey spelled IE, I believe. So he might have conflated you with the other Jamey.
Oh, very possible.
One of their customers, They might have had that Arizona bottling beer on the back of his truck on the side of the highway thing.
On the back of a well-used Mazda pickup. Okay, so let's catch up here. Yeah, man, I will totally critique it. You know me, I'm honest. I will tell you the good things, and I'll tell you the things I think that need to be improved. And I'll do it privately, because on a YouTube channel is not the place to blast a guy.
Right.
Anyway, so what do we got here? So Aircom Peter says the hearts remind me of Periscope. Back in the Periscope days, you could heart the heck of things, and you could get, if you could like just, it was crazy.
I remember when you guys were doing Periscope, and I would just kind of be off to the side while you were performing. I remember seeing like the hearts and bubbles, and so there they go again, like there's more hearts.
Yep.
And to see
there was a brief moment where Musk fired up the old Periscope app. Oh, really? He broadcast on Periscope. Musk did on X. Well, it was still, I think it might have still been Twitter, or it might still have been going X, formerly known as Twitter. But he broadcast Periscope, and a lot of people were like, bring it back, which really, not that I think Elon Musk will ever watch this, but if you do, or if you know Elon, and you would like to tell him something, bring Periscope back. Periscope was a fantastic broadcasting platform.
Was that one better than Busker?
It was better than Busker. I think it just had a much larger audience, and it had its features dialed in. Not so much on the money side of things. I'm talking just broadcasting. So you're not trying to turn this into a business or anything, because Busker had this whole business model, and Periscope had these stars which people could buy, and you gave people stars. And if you got enough stars, you could turn them into like moons, which you traded for planets, and then eventually you got like 19 cents on the dollar. I don't know. It was a dumb system for monetization, but I really liked Periscope. So, okay, video and audio is good. Well, that was a few minutes ago. Yeah, have you heard it? Yes, I did. Dark Age Man is all me, based on Age of Empires. 2 is the one we play. So they play Age of Empires 2.
Okay, yeah.
Most evenings.
I actually knew that because I've seen some of the posts about like, hey, we're doing XYZ, on Age of Empires 2.
Yep. And he streams it on Twitch. Yep. So, one more plug. And that is for our good friend and loyal fan who is not here, Nathan. Nathan is heavily involved with a YouTube channel called Kitchen Killers.
Right.
And basically another kind of pay it back thing. So we want to plug them. We watched their shows. They have much better production value than ours. To be honest, it's a lot better. It's not in a garage on a 2012 MacBook. With
makes it happen, man.
With a 2005 Logitech camera. not realize how old my technology is. Jeez. You can make it live for a long time. It's amazing.
All right, Bob.
Oh, look what I have. Come here, you.
You have too much of this.
That's because I'm saying important things. Anyways, Kitchen Killers with a Z. K-I, kind of like the Gorillas
Right.
band, Gorillas with an A-Z. Kitchen Killers, check them out. Especially if you're into food. It's kind of a wacky show.
They cook, they have music, they showcase products.
Yeah, like Nathan has a lot of woodwork.
Yeah, he has a lot of his handmade woodwork he does.
By the way, if any of you are coming in from the Discord chat and you're wondering who the heck this Nathan guy, Tie-Dye Shark.
Tie-Dye Shark.
I mean, there's a chance that you know him, but anyways, Nathan's a great guy. Such a big supporter of both our channels. I'm imagining that's supposed to be big. It is big. This little heart isn't a bad. YouTube, move the stupid heart when we're in landscape mode.
Yeah,
Put it somewhere else. I'm missing letters.
Slock's words.
Right. So, anyways, yeah, Nathan is fantastic. So I'm gonna assume that since Peter knows he's Nathan, most of the Discord folk know he's Nathan. But his handle on Discord is Tie-Dye Shark.
Familiar with the show as well. I'm gonna step off camera. I need to grab my cans.
Okay, I'm gonna start.
So yeah, I'm about 2 minutes about 2 minutes to go, and that way I can put in my malts. So, all right. So I had them in hot water. That's why I didn't grab them.
Gotcha. So Kitchen Killers, check them out. If this is mostly for the replay viewers, because I know that Peter already knows about Kitchen Killers, but you never know who else will come in. So we watch their stuff, and actually occasionally we watch replays, which I don't watch a lot of replays. I'm a live person, but it was really good, and they were making coquito. They were having a coquito competition on that one. And Nathan had probably a good 5 minute, 10 minute. How long was his segment? It was like 5 minutes.
It was a good one.
It was a chunk. And they are kind of like us, really long streams. You know, you're not going to get a 20-minute thing. You know, so.
Well, they also mix in music too in between.
It's something we could do. Steve is an amazing vocalist, and he has decided to sing.
No, I am not an amazing vocalist.
Don't let him lie to you. I mean, other hand, don't let him lie to you. It's amazing. Dulcet tones. Tones.
No, I'm the guy that starts coughing when he tries to sing.
This one is for you.
My voice cracks like I'm a teenager again, you know?
Yes. Well, that one was just, you don't have a trained voice and it was out of your range, you know?
Right.
This one is for you, and this one is for me. I can get there. It's like, no, you're not. You're not.
No, just don't even try, man.
It's okay. That song did not depend on you having dulcet tones.
No, I did not.
It's all yelly and loud. All right.
All right. I'm going to get my malts kind of staged. Oh, Lord. Where'd that other thing go?
All right, let's get some grain in the water.
That would be...
You are kidding me.
What happened?
Well, my iPad is dying.
Oh, do you need power or is it?
I do need power. You have power?
Yeah, right behind you.
I need
Or
a
you
wall.
can, huh?
I need a wall adapter. I have a cord in the truck, but I need a wall adapter.
Actually, I can help you out. Let me get my malts in there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a pain in the... Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna get sticky.
Come on now. Yep, there it is. I knew it was going to happen.
It's time.
Stop.
Let me go get
Flame. Yeah, I was about to grab the dealio.
There you go. Everybody look at my butt. It's a nice butt. My wife tells me, yo, it's Daniel Roberts. Holy crap. Peter, go get Jem and we'll have the original music train crew in here. That'd be kind of cool. How is Jem doing these days, Peter? I haven't talked with you guys off, like in a video chat or a good long extended text chat in a while. I should fix that.
You have the power.
I do.
You have the technology.
I have the apps and everything. I mean, I still chat occasionally, but I just haven't done a really good long chat. We need a reunion now that you've done Japan. You're not lying. Timo would love to come back to England. He liked England. Although we have to go back to Japan on Timo's dime because we didn't make it to Super Nintendo World in Universal Studios Japan. So back we go. $12,000 for a cheap amusement park ride.
Things you do for love.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I like to go to Japan too. Japan's a nice place.
Oh, no doubt.
Jen is currently hyper-focused on Phasmophobia game.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. I don't know much about it, but I've heard of it, though.
Tell us about Phasmophobia. Sounds like an irrational fear of phasmos.
I don't know much about it.
I was
Heard about
actually telling
Oh,
Peter.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
I was talking to Peter.
You look right at me when you said that.
Well, that's because I'm fascinated in this process of removing the.
So,
Crying out loud, Breeze. Look, little tab. Better. It's how hard is it? I know, but it's like mayonnaise and peanut butter, and all of them have this nice little tab. Not grease.
Grease.
No,
No, we're going to be a pain in the ass.
that's just destruction all over the place.
We're PG. We're PG now.
I'm pretty sure I heard the word ass on a Disney video that was still G, so we're good.
No, alright. What's the context? Was it a donkey? Donkey.
You can't interfere when Phasmo was on. She fell asleep in the Discord voice chat yesterday. that is funny.
Multi malts.
Multi mouth. So, we had a really good time. Now that you guys are live, so you don't have to watch the replay, we had a really successful recording session yesterday. We got the vocals for the Drink 'Em All song. So that song is actually completed now. We got the vocals, we have all the backup instrumentation. All I got to do is mix it, a little bit of EQ, some reverb, just fine touches to make it good. And that one will be ready to send out. And I think I will actually put that, I really should put that, on my Spotify. Because I have a Spotify artist account, which I've never used.
You pay for that?
What? Nope.
Artist account?
Nope. It's free. Because they make money off you. You are the product. Spotify is another one of those you are the product things.
Oh, no. Yeah.
The truth is, I don't mind being the product that much. Because I can ignore your emails, I can ignore all that stuff. If they were able to really do something impactful, like people showed up at my door, which would be bad for those people. Not because of me, because I'm a harmless person, but my wife would drop them where they stand. Are you counting spoonfuls?
No. Never.
Yeah, man. New music. 5 songs. 5 songs. I can tell you the titles. We got Drink 'Em All, which is ready. I just got to mix it out the door. And then we've got Hold My Beer, which is fully written, chords, everything. And it's a lyrics-driven song, so not a lot of need for excessive instrumentals or solos. And any solos that put in will be really simple, something I can improv on the spot. The Best Beer is the one that's for me. Relax and Have a Homebrew. And then a heavy metal song called Better Beer Through Metal, which was written by Steve. And both of you are musicians, so check it out. The cat writes a song, and he's just kind of doing it by gut. He writes it in 7/4, 5/4, and 4/4. Not 16/4, which you might do the math and say, oh, 16/4. No. There's a chunk that's in 7/4, there's another chunk in 5/4, and there's another chunk in 4/4. Really tricky to drum to. So, anyways, yeah. that is gonna go on the album too. It's gonna be a total winner. I mean, people are gonna be like feeling good in their kind of rowdy country beer music zone, and then suddenly. Actually, that's not it at all. I don't want to ruin it for you, so I'm singing. I'm singing the wrong stuff.
It's not brutal sounding metal. It's kind of 80s butt metal sounding, you know.
No, I don't remember the time the Beatles released Sgt. Pepper and Jimi Hendrix covered it less than 24 hours later. I actually don't hate the Beatles. You know what I figured out? It's like I just don't like that whole British invasion sound. It's nothing against me. I don't like the Stones that much. I thought I liked the Who because my dad is a really big Who fan. So I bought a box set, and I figured out, no, I like radio hits. I don't like the Who either.
Oh.
It's just.
I'm a big Black Sabbath fan. I will take Black Sabbath any day, man. Jam to it.
Yeah, but was Black Sabbath part of the British invasion? Think of the sound.
I wouldn't
Sabbath.
call Black Sabbath the British invasion, but they were kind of the proto-metal progenitors of.
Right, but they're metal. Well, think about it. Think about the sound.
The British invasion was like Def Leppard, these British metal bands that kind of hit it out in the early '80s, late '70s, early '80s. Because we're talking about two different things.
We are talking about two different
Judas
things.
Priest,
Well, the British invasion was the Beatles, the Who, the Rolling Stones. Different. You invaded us twice, you cheeky limeys.
I guess I'm more in the context of metal with like Judas Priest and those guys, man. Black Sabbath.
No, I get it.
Oh, you know what? I'm doing? I'm conflating the British invasion with new wave of British metal.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm conflating.
The British invasion, the official thing that was the Beatles and stuff.
Right. Okay. I was complaining this. Yeah, new wave of British metal.
Okay, so dude, Peter, who wouldn't want to cover Virtual World? That is a fantastic song. You ever heard Virtual World? Have I ever played it for you?
I don't know.
Oh man, we need to dig it up.
I don't think it sounds familiar.
It's not 100% your genre of music, but if you listen to the lyrics and think about, what's weird is how old is that song? Geez, that song's gonna be 5 years, 6 years old. How old is Virtual World? Anyways, he wrote it back in the Buster days, or maybe even before. But it was this crazy thing, and it hasn't become less relevant. I mean, the topics of the song are this whole, people forming online relationships, but you don't know. It's like, what's his name? His name's Aircrom. It's like, who is Aircrom? I don't know. He's Aircrom, and he's in trouble. He hasn't posted in 24 hours. What's wrong? Starts freaking out, and there's a really cool story about it. Peter saved a guy from committing suicide. Literally.
That sounds familiar. I think you've done this. You played this before. You played the song for me. We talked about this before. This sounds really familiar, actually.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. I mean, I didn't realize. Yeah, 6 years old. You don't know what you don't know. Thank you, Daniel, for elevating the conversation. But seriously, I mean, it's just this whole concept of, it's like we're all connected, but we're even lonelier than ever. And it really, I mean, you and me, we're immune to it because we're old. I mean, we're not old, but you know what I mean. We're old. We remember the other ways, and we don't glom on to the new tech near as fast, which is how I know I'm old. When I'm just like, I'm done. I'm not doing Snapchat.
Yeah, I'm not get off my lawn old, but yeah, I'm just like,
I am not chasing the next new cool platform. I can't do it. I'm done. This is the platform I'm on.
Yeah, the trendy stuff. Yeah.
Are you gonna bail on X? No, I'm gonna stay on X. I don't care what it's called. It's just I'm not leaving because I'm too tired. I'm too cranky to try and change things.
You know what?
Go wash your hands.
No, let me get the rest of my mouth in there, and I'll wash my hands. Because I'm just gonna make myself more sticky if I don't.
It's true. That's all that's gonna happen.
I still need to put dry mouth in there too.
Well, the dry malt you can add. I mean, the only reason for turning the flame off is to avoid scorching.
Yep.
And the dry malt kind of stays on top and then evaporates.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Just as far as like before I set my timer, or no, I'm not even setting
Remember
my timer.
that guy? The one time we met him. Yeah, you guys actually hung out with him. The guy who the song is. The song's not really about him, but he happens to be, one of the inspirations for the song.
Sure.
He was an interesting character. He's one of those. He's one of the reasons that you never overshare on social media. We know we are old when our new hobby becomes being old.
What are you gonna do today? I'm gonna be old.
All day.
All right, I'm gonna go watch real quick.
You know what? I think I'm gonna do virtual world down at Wicked Teuton on this Saturday. This coming Saturday. They got an open mic. Thank you. I needed a song to play down there, and I'm tired of playing 1980s pop rock covers, folk rock style, because all I have is an acoustic guitar. That's a good idea. I should play that song. I'm going to play that song.
All right.
Which I gotta admit, that song sounds pretty cool on the guitar, where you just pedal that E, and just got dum 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 dum.
Can I use your kniff?
Yep. Kniff ho!
Kniff. Thank you.
One of them's a blade. The ones with the little slots, those are blades. Both of them. One's a regular blade, the other one's serrated. They're both pretty sharp because I sharpen them. So there's a tab that you press sideways.
There it is.
That's it.
Found it.
Found it. No, it's a good song, man. Anyhow, so back to the album though. So that is going to come out because the other three like country rowdy bar music style songs are super easy. 1, 4, 5 bangers, nothing complex, mainly vocal driven because that's what gives them their value. The clever lyrics. They're not really musically driven. They're lyrically driven, which is a beer album. So of course, Steve's song is a little more musically driven, but the
This is the groove,
well, it sets the groove around. The lyrics are important though because the construction of his song kind of, instead of being a narrative, it's not a real narrative song, but there's like 3 chunks of it, and there's like quasi-emotional, intellectual setup type deal. So one places you in a bar, one places you in the bar again at closing time, one places you at home. It's just, you'll hear it when we're done because the lyrics will be understandable. They're not going to be very, at least that's what I was planning.
Yeah.
They're not going to be buried like some metal lyrics. Some metal lyrics are incomprehensible. Other metal lyrics are more easily understood. These are going to be more easily understood. Can't wait to hear it. Nice comment.
Oh no! Making a mess.
Oh yeah, virtual world could go a lot of ways. It could. It has flexibility, which is how you've written a good song. If it can move different places. There are songs that they're stuck in the genre they're stuck in. It's like, no, I'm sorry, you're not gonna move that over into bluegrass. That is always gonna be hard rock.
There we go.
And now we wait.
Anything going?
So they say a watch pot never boils. What if you watch it and I watch it and PotCam watches it? Will it truly never ever boil? That would be frustrating.
All right, I'm gonna go
Wash your hands.
get some things ready. I need to get the hops, my little hops cage ready. It's in the solution, and I need to rotate my carboy.
All right. Could you get your power cable? I'm down to 6% on my iPad.
Yeah. You're gonna need this probably, right? No.
Probably. I don't know if will your cord stretch? I think it did last time. It's stretched. It just means that we can't move the.
You just need a block, right?
I need a block is what I need. Otherwise, my ability to monitor and respond to comments will go away. I mean, it won't. Your friend Dav lost his id. He used to be David. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna vomit right here on screen. Come on, Dan. That was horrible.
So here's the block. I'm gonna do this first.
All right. So once you get back,
And then yeah,
I
I'm
will.
what I'm gonna do.
No, that's not gonna work.
What do you need?
That's USB-C. I need regular USB.
Regular USB.
Yeah, like that USB. Because my cord, it goes lightning plug here, but the other end is regular USB. USB 1, 2, 3.
Archaic, man.
Stable.
I have a USB. Wait a minute. I don't have another. The only other Apple block I have is USB-C though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we'll see how this goes. Looks like Jim has finished finally. What?
Unless you want to use non-Apple.
What do you mean non-Apple?
Not made by Apple.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Not a power supply made by Apple.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Fine, fine.
It doesn't care that much. Man, I charged this iPad too. It's getting old and the battery burns up quicker. Eventually it's gonna go away. Some cars only have USB-C now. Had to buy an iPhone cable for rental cars with them. Yeah, it's just one of the things, technology moves on. Try finding a wheel for a Conestoga wagon. It's going to be hard. Try finding a Conestoga wagon for that matter. Technology does move on, and eventually you got to move with it. Phasmo and Lukather. What is Lukather? What is Lukather? 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 What is that? Phasmo, but I don't know what Lukather is. You'll have to explain what Lukather is. What you looking for?
Mom's at the house keys.
No, it's not. It's hanging up on the thing. What are you doing?
Mom said she put a house key here.
She put it on top of there. I don't know what that was. I put it on the thing.
Oh, she put it on top. I thought she put it in.
Why do you need the house key?
Oh, we're just gonna put it back.
No, I already hung it up though. That's good. Where's the plug thing I just gave you?
It's the devil's name if you can't speak proper. So the extension cord's there. I handed the block back to you.
Okay, here, this will work. I just need to give you the block back. I don't know what to do with the block now.
I'm sorry to frustrate you. I didn't mean to do that.
No, I was like, what happened to my block?
It's right here. All right. So
let me finish what I was doing inside.
let me plug my iPad in before it dies here, guys. Oh, can't believe I used the term guys. The term guys has become so noxious. All right, guys. Okay, guys. Now, guys, what we're going to do, guys, is stop with the guys. No more guys. We don't use the word guys anymore. I'm not even on camera. I realize this. Oh, okay. I need new equipment so bad it's not even funny. It's not even remotely funny. Oh. It's the devil's name if you can't speak proper. Jade is here. Hello, Jade. Steve Lukather from Toto. Okay, wait. Is it the devil's name if you have a problem speaking, or is it? Oh no! I'm just gonna turn that off. I overheated my water to steep my grains. Most of you guys are English. You know all about that. Don't steep too long and all that fun stuff. Now we need to wait till it comes down to about 150.
Okay.
Hi, lovelies. I came to learn. Oh, she called us lovelies. I love it. You can call me a lovely anytime you like. I like that. You know what? Let's talk about weird things that are only quasi-acceptable anymore. Like when a woman calls you sweetie at the cash register. I like that. You can call me sweetie or honey or any of those pet names. I am so completely comfortable with that. This does not offend me at all. It's one of the reasons I like the industry I work in, the auto parts industry. Most of the women are very much like that. You know,
When I go to the South, it's the same way.
yes.
How you doing, honey?
Yeah. Oh man, when I was coming back from the Persian Gulf, I was transferring to 129, and I got hung up in Virginia. I literally spent 24 hours in the air at one point, just flying.
Jeez.
It was just stupid. So I get to Virginia, trying to get out. Planes are getting canceled. I show up. I walk up to the counter. I got my sea bag and everything, and there's this big black mama there. And I told her my story. I was like, look, I started traveling many moons ago.
Many moons.
I just want to go home to Seattle. I'm coming out of the Persian Gulf. I'm so tired. My plane, for whatever reason, is not flying. And that woman looks at me and she's like, sugar. Oh no, we're getting you out of here tonight. And I was like, God bless you and all your children and your children's children. And the thing is, I'm totally cool with that. I'm just like, that is nice. That is very personable, and it, you know, what is this? It'll be fine. Protein.
Where did you come from? Wonder if I
The
scorched.
ceiling? You may have scorched a little bit.
Oh, they could probably anything on the ceiling. I might have scorched, and that might have been something that floated up.
In some parts of England, they call you my love. Yep, I'm down with that. Cute pet names are cool.
I don't think it's the same thing, but I was in Australia about, I don't know, 20 years ago, and I was buying something, and the person behind the counter called me Governor.
Governor.
Governor. I was like, ah.
I think it's still slangy.
Slangy?
Slangy.
Oh, I was like-
slangy.
Oh yeah.
Of the slang persuasion.
I guess like he was like, all right, that'd be, £1.20, Governor, kind of thing. And I was like, oh, it just sounded funny to me. Not funny like, oh, it was different because they don't hear that here,
No, we don't use
And I
the
thought
term
it was kind of cool, Hey, you call me Governor. Oh,
Bum-ba-da-dum, bum-ba-da-dum,
You are ready?
bum-ba-da-dum. I'm sorry,
Ready for
Superman.
all right, these are
I
identical
like
glasses, so we have to be careful. You're on the right, I'm on the left.
All right.
I'll tell yours first, so I don't confuse them.
I'm watching you like a hawk.
me.
I worked in a call center, so I've been called everything. I'm pretty sure Steve has too. He did that job.
Not call center, but I did do tech support when it was still, locally sourced. And yeah, I had a few irate customers that were very upset they could not get on the internet. And so even though they were calling me for help, they still decided to call me names and tell me how bad I am at my job. But I'm getting you back on the internet.
There you go. I didn't cause your problem.
Exactly. It's like, you called me for help. Why are you yelling at me? But only one time did I lose my composure. One time I just it wasn't even a real customer. So that's why I think I let myself.
It was a bot?
No, it was just somebody who called the number trying to get a hold, trying to figure out something, and they happened to get the service that I was a tech for, and they weren't even a customer for the service. But, and I was just kind of like, well, I'll try to help you out just because I want to try to help them out. And they were getting very frustrated because I didn't understand what they were trying to tell me because they didn't know what the call desktop icons and whatnot. This was like 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently computers were still pretty new back then. But yeah, this older person, this older man, he just kept saying, "Yeah, the thing isn't working." I'm like, "Well, sir, I don't know what you mean by the thing." You know what I mean? It's just that kind of thing. It's just like he just couldn't describe what his problem was, even though I knew he wasn't a customer. He couldn't describe what the problem was. I'm still going to try to help him, and he was getting frustrated with me because I was just like, I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. And I would ask questions like, well, do you see this? Do you see X, Y, Z, whatever?
Mm-hmm.
He just get more and more pissed, and he was just like, I'm a disabled vet in a wheelchair, and I'm like, and I'm trying to help you, sir, And he just started cussing at me and yelling at me over the phone, and so I was just like, I returned with my own expletives, and then I canned him, with the headset. I was like, you're done,
Fair enough, man.
all these heads look over from the cubicles. You okay?
Well, it's like we're talking about, with the service and the screw up you had yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's like even when I'm really mad, I call the number and the person on the other end. Now, if I'm really mad, I let them know. I'm like, I am not in a good mood. I'm not happy.
No, it's not your fault.
Yes, and that usually comes out really soon in the conversation. I understand that you didn't do this. However, I am really cranky right now.
Right. It's like I'm gonna bark a little bit, so just bear with me.
Deal with it, and pass this up to your manager, type deal. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. So Dan was mentioning that the people were not happy because they didn't like that his service wasn't the cheapest. Peter mentions you never see John Williams and Stravinsky in the same room. Hashtag conspiracy. Daniel says Stravinsky would be livid. A lot of Star Wars is the rite of spring.
All right, grab some hops.
Oh no, John Williams. No, go grab your hops. No, I was gonna say John Williams lifted large chunks of them. You should listen to. I think it's Eric Korngold. Is his name? He's one of the earlier film composers, and The King's Men or something. Anyways, listen to it and compare it to the Star Wars, and it is just like.
Yeah,
just like
good stuff.
But the thing that I was listening to an article, like a radio broadcast about composing for film, and film composers, they have a lot of their hands are tied.
Sure.
The director will come in and say, "I want it to sound like this." I experienced that when I was writing commercials. Jingles and commercials. People would be like, I want it to sound just like Gangsta's Paradise, but not so that we don't get sued for copyright. I was like, you can't do that.
Can't do that, yeah.
You get close enough to Gangsta's Paradise, they're going to come after you, right? You got to make up your own thing.
It can't sound too much.
One guy wanted exactly the Scooby-Doo theme. It's like, can you do exactly the Scooby-Doo theme? It's no. No, you go call the company that owns Scooby-Doo's music and ask them if you can use it for your commercial. John copy-paste Williams. Don't get too aggressive, man. I mean, everybody uses other people's stuff. Good artists borrow, great artists steal. Everyone knows this. Except for Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer just has a production company with a whole bunch of ghostwriters. Their Hans are tied. Yes, thank you, both of us on the same level. Yeah, I've heard. I mean, he had to have some chops originally, though, because he came from somewhere, right? It's not like he was nothing. Somebody said, hey, this cat writes good music or stuff. but I know that his production company now, a lot of Hans Zimmer score stuff is not. It's not even. It's like not even remotely Hans Zimmer. One of my composer teachers was totally jealous of successful movie composers. LOL. Not gonna lie, I'm totally jealous. I want to be as famous as John Williams. Now I'm all sad. Thanks. Now I'm sad. And I've written some good movie themes. You should go to my YouTube channel, the Jamey Aston one, and watch my Stargirl music and my freaking Westworld film. Those were two good things. I did those were good. You could have put them right. I like Hans James Bond score. You like Hans Zimmer's James Bond score? I'll have to look that up. I'm a big fan of movie music. I like movie music. Okay.
Trying to get everything ready.
But I found I also really like songwriting too. No Time to Die. Okay. I will check that out. Probably after we're done broadcasting. No Time to Die. We need to listen to the score. Oh, we've got motion.
It's about to happen.
I think it's time. It's time.
It's time for podcast.
Podcast. Oh! We so need a production team, Steve.
All right, check that out. Oh no, I'm gonna need the knip again.
You're gonna need the knip again?
Por favor. Because I have some boilage.
The knip is way over here.
Oh no. Guess it would help if I had tools. Better tools for the job. Thank you.
You are welcome.
All right. So I'm gonna put these in there. And one more. My recipe calls for 2 ounces of
What was loud? Pot cam? Oh yeah, that's because the microphone is attached to the webcam that is pot cam.
All right, ready? Here we go. Yeah, it's awfully.
Your compositions are ace. Although your song I used to cover was my fave somewhere. See, I really like both you and Jem. The covers you did of that song, they were fantastic. You should do that more often. Because I really like your covers. You know, I think there's just something. I think a genuine composer or songwriter.
That always happens.
This is my favorite part of Steve's brews, where he tries to somehow manage to get that silly thing to not fall over.
So what this thing is it keeps all your hops together. So
it's like a tea bag.
Like a tea bag, yeah. That metal tea bag. I forget what that thing's called in the tea world. But yeah, it's like a metal tea bag, and the purpose of it, when I'm done boiling and I pour into my carboy, I want as much or as least amount of gunk to go in the carboy with brewing sludge. So I try to keep the hops contained in this thing.
We don't like the gunk.
Yeah, less gunk is better. All right, there you go. I didn't see that. But it likes to float around. Don't you dare fall. Trying to get all that back down there. There we go. Get down there. Get.
Tea bag, and we got a "That's What She Said" from Dan. Family show, Dan.
Sounds about right.
Family show. Don't encourage them.
There we go. Get that. There we go. Much better. I'd like to start my boil. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and start my timer now on the boil.
All right, sounds good.
Got a bunch of debris all over the place. All right.
And
1 hour and begin.
I've still got 15 minutes on my steep.
Oh, okay.
I could have started earlier. But that's
I
okay.
guess you could have. That's all right, though. My timer's on for my boil. We'll be all right. It'll be all right.
All right, Steve has things under control. If anything crazy happens, we'll jump back to pot cam.
Here's your kniff.
Because Steve will be saying colorful words. Doesn't matter what cam we're on. Really, the microphone hears everything.
True.
So, first serious topic of the broadcast.
Yeah.
Are you ready? There's a film production of Macbeth, and Denzel Washington plays the king. Right?
Okay.
So, Macbeth is Scottish, right? Highly unlikely that there were any black kings during that time period, right? And yet, I'll continue after you get done.
You bring this thing up.
Like I will. Here.
Watch this. I'm gonna do this.
Holy shit! Why haven't you done that before? That is flippin' brilliant.
It's a good question. I don't know why that didn't happen before. All right, let me go clean my spoon.
The brilliance that is Steve, and you know that your temperature is way over boiling. All right, come back, and I will finish my story. Here at Northwest Brewmeisters, we don't only like to talk about stupid stuff. We also like to talk about interesting, modern, and somewhat controversial topics, which stimulate the mind. But we can't get too controversial because, unfortunately, humans aren't mature enough to have conversations about things they disagree about. Oh, I need a new tool is needed to stabilize the giant tea bag. We haven't heard from Tracy for a few years talking of past people. Yeah, I would be willing to bet that she probably is okay. And it's just, she got tired of social media. I mean, I still have this dream about being YouTube famous, not gonna lie. Probably not gonna happen. I'm good at that. I got my kids. I make music. I have a good time. But, for some people, it probably gets tiring. You know who shows up every so often is a woman named Dragonfly. She pops into, she watched my boys' concerts, and she's, Noreen. I don't know if you guys remember her from, I don't know, remember, because she was around during the busker days. I mean, she tangled with Martin, and I think I just got locked into the garage. I'm pretty sure I just got locked into the garage. Did you lock me in the garage?
I might have.
Anyway, she pops up once in a while.
Is that a muscle memory?
Is there a replay of that concert? I don't know, but I am making an edited video. It's going to be of the first performance, not the second one. They did the same program twice, just like real musicians. You do the same program in different locations. My boys did that. They did a program up here, same program down there, and they did much better down in Silver Lake. I'll see. I think if you go on Facebook, you could probably find it. It was live streamed, and I don't think it was live streamed on Facebook. The link to the live stream, but I think it might have been proprietary software that streamed it. Anyways, Steve's back. So, Denzel Washington, black man, good actor if you ask me, right? Plays the part of the king in Macbeth.
Okay.
I don't think anybody had a problem with it. Now, this is an old production too. It's an old movie. It's not comes out. Black girl plays the part of Ariel in the live action of Little Mermaid, and we lose our minds. So the question is, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Because I have
because of the reason behind it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At least what I think it is, because it wasn't like it was all like a virtue signaling thing, not because they were trying to cast a good actress, who happens to be black. It was like a virtue signaling thing, just like we were only it was almost insulting. Like it was almost like an affirmative action thing.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you. I think that's the big thing because
that's the way I look at it.
It's Macbeth. How many schools have done Macbeth? you know, over
Lots of them. Yeah.
you know, over the centuries since Macbeth
Right.
was written, right? And a lot of those schools, you know, maybe they're in inner city New York where they're predominantly black
Right.
kids.
If a black kid had a part, they had a part, not because they were black. They just
Yeah.
that's the part they got.
It's not like we're gonna race swap the king, you know.
No,
to
in
make it like-
the modern version of Little Mermaid, I think it was a virtue signaling thing. It's just like, well, look at us, we're gonna be, you know, the DEI stuff. You know,
Yeah,
it
right.
was like affirmative action. It wasn't because the actress was any good or fit the role the best. You know, it's just like.
yeah, it was purposefully done.
But I'm not gonna watch the movie, not because it has a black actress, because I don't like Disney. So,
Yeah, well, yeah, but the reason that we don't like Disney right now is because they've traded quality
right.
filmmaking, quality
They become political.
storylines
It was-
for political
Yeah,
statements.
exactly. The political part is what kills me for being a Disney, you know, fan anymore. It's just like, you know, not you're not the same Disney I grew up on.
Hmm.
What's up?
Well, so Peter, we're talking about this woman Tracy, who was from either Oklahoma or Kansas. That was she was in, and she was real active. Like she was active in buskers. She had a great voice. She was trained. I don't think she was trained much past high school or college, but she was still trained.
Right.
Right? She had a trained voice, and she was a good singer. And like Peter was saying, she was involved in the Discord, and she liked to cook. She did a lot of cooking stuff.
Come on.
And how did that work so well before? You know, put it right up against the edge, and yeah, there. That seems to.
Well, because it just a lot of it puffs up.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm losing like there's like a bunch of those hops that's not in the you know in the
I
wort.
see what you're saying.
So a lot of it's dumped out, but I don't care. It'll strain out.
Oklahoma. Anyway, she was real active, and then she just disappeared, like just stopped completely. Although at one point, I know that she surfaced again, although not directly. It was somebody else who knew her said she's fine.
Oh,
She's just not doing this, but she's just never come back. So
gotcha.
yeah, that was kind of weird. And that's that little story right there. That's kind of what this virtual world song is about. That whole people, you make like actual relationships.
Right.
You know, after a while, you kind of bring down the catfishing level, and it's like, okay, I'm actually 50 pounds overweight, and that picture I sent you from Muscle Builder magazine was not me. This is actually me. It's just your eyebrow. That's all I'm willing to share right now. Be happy. My eyebrow.
What you get?
But you get it, you know. Just that's like my relationship with Peter, Dan, and Jem. You know, that's a real relationship. I mean, and it was a real relationship before I went to England. And then, of course, after I went to England, I actually got to shake their hands and touch them and go to Nando's, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like a fast food place, right?
yeah. It's like Kentucky Fried Chicken, maybe a little more sit-downy than Kentucky Fried Chicken, but still, it was fine. You know, it was good. My friend Meg was just, you're going to Nando's? It's like, yeah, Meg, while you're doing all these things that you think are culture but are not, because most English people don't do that, I'm going to go do what English people
Right.
do. That's the English culture.
Right. I'm gonna enjoy the actual culture, not the touristy crap, you know.
What are you going to do? I'm going to go to a random pub and drink beer with a guy named Will. No, I don't know his last name. He thought I was mixing drinks because I drank an IPA and a stout.
Smythe.
Smythe?
It was Will Smythe.
It was Will Smythe. Will Smythe. Hi. In case you're watching, Will. Good times. But really, that's why I went to England. And I kind of tried to do that in Japan a little bit harder because I don't speak the language.
Yeah, it's a little more difficult in Japan because the culture is very different. You know, English culture and American culture. I mean, there are differences, but
it's not even.
we're close enough with each other that we can assimilate easily. You know.
Well,
I mean?
it's the language though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like I can try and do your culture. It's
Right,
like, okay, we're taking our shoes off again, and I have mid-calf lace-up boots on. This is getting tiring. No wonder Japan, the land that invented loafers.
Yeah, seriously.
But you know, I am totally cool with cultural stuff. In fact, that's what I want to do. It's like, what do you do here? It's like, well, we go out to this restaurant.
Let's go do what the locals do, not what the tourists do.
Like, we want to go to Japan for Christmas one year and eat Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Make sure you have some hot sake.
Hot sake?
That's traditional at Christmas in Japan.
Really?
I know this because I was there. So.
But that's true. You were there for 4 years.
Yeah, there was I can't remember what it was called, but there was like a Christmas village thing, and yeah, it was all full of hot sake and stuff. You know.
Peter's like #controversial. Yeah, let's get back to that because that's kind of what I tradition. Like you have to order your Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh, geez, really?
Yeah, she said it's a big deal there. So I will do this if we go to Japan for Christmas, which I think we should do one year. Definitely going to do Kentucky Fried Chicken and hot sake, and I will force Wendy to drink that hot sake. I don't care if she doesn't like it. It's like I don't think I'm going to like this either. It's rice wine. I don't like rice or wine, and it's hot. Everything about this is wrong, but I'm going to do it, and so are you.
It's cultural.
Right. We are going to do what the Japanese people do. Which, by the way, eating tuna fish eyeballs, I don't think is something Japanese people actually do.
What non-Japanese people think Japanese people do, maybe.
Well, it's what Google puts on weird foods they eat in Japan. It's like, no, 7 people in Japan eat that.
7 people in the whole country eat that stuff.
Yeah. And they only do it for shock value. They don't actually like it. However, the whole raw eggs on thing, which is very not American because, USDA, we're going to die from foodborne illnesses.
Oh, I know, right?
We are such a freaked out country. We put our eggs in the fridge. You should copy us because we're better than you. Yeah, right. Sarcasm. Don't log out. Don't stay. Stay. Keep being our viewers. Anyhow, back to the thing. So I agree with you. It's like if you're doing Macbeth and you happen to hire a black person to be the king, it's like were there black kings in Scotland at the time? No, but it's Macbeth. It's like this is a cultural thing. It's art. It's a play. The actor, get a good actor to play the part, and you don't worry about the race.
Right.
Then I think with I forget what her first name is Holly, but it's not Berry because Holly Berry is that other girl. Holly what?
Actually, Berry is not Holly. It's Halle Berry.
Hallie?
Halle is Halle Berry.
Like halitosis?
Sure.
Poor woman.
No, you're named after bad breath.
Okay.
Right.
You're right.
There's a
It is
difference
Halle.
between an actor, actress, whatever, who happens to be black, and like we're gonna we're gonna use them because they're black. You know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously,
Yeah.
if it's a black role, that's different. But you know what I mean? Just
Well, so like in Othello, you could not put a white person in the place of Othello. Because in Othello was a Moor. That was a big part of the Othello character.
Moors tend to be dark skinned.
Yeah, you have to have a dark-skinned person.
That's what I
in
meant.
that
Like
role.
if it's a role that's meant to be a person with darker complexion, by all means,
Yeah. But no, it's just interesting. And I think, if you could get rid of that we're doing this just because thing, we wouldn't give 2 hoots.
Right.
It's
when they make a big overt deal about it.
Yeah, it's like, look,
people
we're
get
having
pissed, yeah.
or the whole thing, you need to hire a gay person to play a gay part. It's like,
No, you don't.
it's acting. People were playing
I thought
gay
acting
parts.
meant like you were doing something, you were being somebody or something, or doing something that's not you.
Well, if you go with the aliens from Galaxy Quest, you're lying.
Oh.
Do you remember that? Galaxy
No.
Quest was a fun one. It had
That Tim Allen movie.
Tim Allen,
Kind of a parody.
Sigourney Weaver.
Right, it's kind of a parody movie.
Yeah, Alan Rickman. It was a
Yeah.
parody of the Star Trek stuff, and what had happened is they were famous sci-fi actors,
Right,
and,
right.
and the broadcast had gone out, and this alien race had picked it
But
up,
they were real.
and
yeah.
so there were the historical documents, and that was one of the big things. Is like you were lying. It's like not really.
But not.
Yeah, we were lying.
We were lying.
It's acting.
Well,
So,
like back in the live action Ghost in the Shell movie that came out a few years ago. It's a Japanese, it's an anime story, but a bunch of people had a problem with Scarlett Johansson, I believe, was the actress that played. I believe the name of the character is Major or the Major. That's like a rake, but she's like this.
We'll get to the comments in a minute.
Cybernetic android. Anyway, because she's not Japanese, they said, they're whitewashing it. It's like,
Have they ever looked at anime?
I know. You look at anime, they don't look Japanese even in anime.
Big round
Big
anime
round.
eyes.
So yeah, so a bunch of people, before canceling became a thing, they just complained about it, like, oh, you're whitewashing it because they used a white actress to play a Japanese character.
That's just people
Yeah.
wanting to get bent.
But
Kind of like the Redskins, now the Nationals.
considering that it was a retelling of the story made in the United States, and the director was Japanese.
It's
He didn't seem to have a problem with it.
Yep, he was good. But it's just interesting. And if you could get rid of that, we need to get to the Doctor Who comment. Because Doctor Who is it's an interesting
I love
character.
the old 70s Doctor Who,
because
by the way.
Doctor Who is not human.
No, Doctor
at
Who
all.
is an alien. He's a Time Lord.
He's a Time Lord, and he's not necessarily even a he, as far as I know.
That's right. It's a Time Lord if you think about it.
Right. It's a Time Lord. So if Doctor Who manifests as a female, technically that kind of fits.
Yeah, I think
you could get away with it.
Doctor is or was a female. I'm not sure if the series is still going, but
Well,
I
no,
know
it's
there's
still
a female-
going.
I know there's a female Doctor. Like I think the latest one's a female.
So I guess people went crazy because in Doctor Who, the new Doctor is a black gay guy. Now here's the problem.
Okay, well now they're virtue signaling.
So the black guy, there's no problem with that because the Doctor can manifest as whatever.
Right.
But bothering
the virtue signaling.
to put some sort of sexual orientation,
It became political.
yeah, it's like
It's
I
not
don't
political.
remember. I mean, did the Doctor fall in love? I mean, his companion
like-
was always female,
The companion, especially in the 60s and 70s versions, yeah, the companions were always female.
but were
Every
they
now and then there'd be a
romantically
dude-
involved?
And I have never seen an episode where there was a romantic involvement.
Yeah, I mean,
Of course, my favorites are like the Tom Baker days, because he was like pretty much the best Doctor. Tom Baker and the guy before him, I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy before Tom Baker and Tom Baker were like the segment I loved the most. And I don't remember ever once there being a relationship between the Doctor and the companion.
right. So if
The sexual
that's true,
relationship,
no romantic or sexual relationship between the Doctor and whoever the companion was, what is the point in making sure that we know that he's a gay man?
Right. That's that virtue signaling stuff. That's where that comes into play. And it's not even about gay. Even it's just it could be anything. It's like we're going to virtue signal some kind of diversity thing.
Right. I mean, it's just
You turn it political. It's going to me personally. It's going to turn me away from it.
yeah. It's and that's
What does it matter that the Doctor is gay? If the Doctor is going to be gay this time around, then so be it. Whatever.
Right.
But don't be overt about it.
Well, the problem is if a character never has sexual relationships in the story arc, the only way that you can make the character be gay is to be overt about it.
To be overt, you have to have some kind of relationship with something.
Like
that.
just have a little text message at the beginning. Hello, welcome to Doctor Who. With the crazy synth-driven soundtrack. The Doctor Who. Yeah, that's the one I'm trying for. I'm failing. It's actually a pretty great soundtrack. I listen, there's a video that does like a montage of all the changes, and they are remarkably consistent through the millennia that show has been on.
There's an older electronica group, yes, electronica, called Orbit, I believe. Orbit? I'm not sure if they're
Like
English.
the gum?
No, Orbit. Well, like Orbiting.
Yeah.
Orbit. Anyway, they do a Doctor Who kind of montage thing. They do live performances. Orbital, maybe. I think it's called Orbital actually. Orbital. Electronica group from like the 80s and 90s.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, it's a good theme song. It really is. I like it. But getting back to, if the character if the story doesn't involve the orientation of the character, then what's the point in making such an overt statement? And it is.
Yeah, personally, I don't care what the actor or actress is, what nationality. It's like, I don't care if it's a Pakistani playing the president of the United States. If they do a good job, fine. But don't hire them because they're Pakistani. Hire them because they were good actors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever the
Hire them
case may be.
because they're
Insert
fantastic.
nationality here. That's my thing.
I agree with
because
you.
they did a good job, not because they were a certain color.
But the thing is-
unless you need a certain actor of a certain culture,
for the
Well, that
story.
makes sense. If you're
to,
gonna
to reinforce the story, it makes makes sense.
now, I will say this: at this point in time, let's pretend you're doing a movie about the Sioux Indians. Why would you hire white people and paint them brown?
Well, that's different. Yeah, because you want
Yeah.
people that are going to be, even if they're not Sioux Indians, at least maybe the actors can play the part and look well enough like
Yeah.
a Sioux Indian that it's convincing for the story.
Right.
Sure, I get that. You would not. Yeah, you're not going to have a bleach white person play a Sioux Indian. You're
But
not going to
that's-
have an Asian person play a Sioux Indian. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
even a black person. It's like, no, we need brown people for this.
Yeah, specifically American, Native American types,
Right.
I mean, and it would have to be North American.
But that's
Native
all
American.
specific. Those are all like case by case things. And which is legit. Things are going to be case by case.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that at this point in time, so in the past, well, racism was alive, and so they just wouldn't hire Sioux Indians.
Right.
They'd hire white people and
And they
paint them
paint them.
brown.
Yeah, look at little Charlton Heston movies and crap.
Mhm.
Blackface on actors and stuff.
And that was wrong, but judging the past by
But at the
today's
time, they
standards.
didn't think of it that way, though. It's different. now. Fast forward 80 years later, things are considered very differently. Now there's an awareness on things, and excuse me,
Well, you could say that
we don't think the same way that we did 80 years ago.
yeah, well, we've made advancements, so to speak. I mean,
In some cases, there's some things. There's still
there are definitely
there's still
areas
some
that,
subsets of people out there that are just too pig-headed to move on.
well, yeah, and that's really what
And that's
it is.
across the board. That's not just white people or Western culture. That's across the board, man.
So sure,
Western culture and white people are not the only races out there.
there are still places in
And-
Japan.
And
No
not
Gaijin.
that all white people or Western culture is racist. You know what I mean? Just
1 a.m. must sleep.
There's-
We'll finish replay tomorrow. All right, Peter. Have a good one.
take care, Peter. Thanks for joining
Yes,
us.
we agree. Star Wars was ruined by Kathleen Kennedy.
Yes,
We're with you on
Absolutely.
that one.
absolutely.
All right, and he's already gone. We're down to 3. We're at 4, now we're at 3. So Peter must have left.
Well, yeah, it's late, pretty late over in the UK, and then I know Dan is 3 hours? No, Dan's like 5 hours ahead of us.
No, Dan.
'Cause he's in
1, 2,
Brazil,
3,
so he's-
4, 5. Yeah, what time is it where you're at, Dan?
I know Peter's
Why am I looking
8
at-
hours ahead of us. So
Peter's 8 hours, so 17, so that would be 25. So 1 in the morning?
yeah, it's late there.
Yeah, 1 in the
But
morning.
I know where Dan is in Brazil. It's not obviously not GMT.
Yeah, but it's ahead of East Coast
yeah,
time.
it's head of East Coast. Our East Coast, an hour or two ahead of our East Coast. I can't remember what it was. He actually told us in one of the previous broadcasts. So
Yeah. I didn't realize
We've been
Brazil was
drinking.
that far east.
we've been drinking.
What?
Missoula?
No, we're in control.
Yeah, 2 hours. Sorry.
What?
Missoula's not 2 hours ahead, right? They're only 1 hour, right? Missoula's in mountain time, right?
Missoula?
Yeah, mountain time.
Oh, Missoula. I thought you said Brazil twice. Missoula, yeah, they're on mountain time, so they're only 1 hour.
Yeah, Brazil. And Brazil's a big country too. I'm not sure if it covers it. I'm sure. I mean, I
More
wouldn't
than one
I would
time
not be
zone?
surprised if there's more than one time zone in Brazil.
But I'm just saying that chunk of South America sticks out further east than you really think when you look at the
Yeah, if
globe.
you look at the actual topology, yeah.
Yeah, but so that at least the east coast of Brazil, it's 2. It's 2 or 1. Let's see, it's 10 p.m. in Brazil. So 3 would be 8, 9, 10. So yeah, 5.
5 hours. Okay. Yeah. We got kind of not weird this broadcast. We got kind of controversial,
Hey, I always try one topic without going too deep. Like we didn't.
Right.
We neither attacked nor defended homosexuality. We neither attacked nor defended races or anything. We just talked about them in an
We
objective.
just presented it objectively.
Which
yeah.
more people we should be able to do that.
No, I agree. We should be able to do that. Anybody should be able to have an objective conversation about any topic, whether it's a scary topic or not. I'm saying scary just kind of an umbrella term because people are just afraid to talk about stuff because oh my gosh, I don't want to get canceled. So,
Well, yeah, and there are people that are hypersensitive. Someone who. Go ahead.
Children, I need to take care of children. Okay.
Needy little things, children. All right, so let's go back to pot cam for a minute. We'll come over and visit Jamie's pot. Which is all frothy. So my malts were all dry malts, which merely means that they were dehydrated more than the sticky syrup that Steve put in. It's still just malt. But one thing that does mean is that this is going to get really foamy as we get up there. We're back up to 4, and I know Peter bailed out, so who could it be? Who could it be now? Who could it be now? It's a good song. You like The Police? You like Sting? Sting's good. I like Sting. It's been fun. Chat soon. All right, Dan, take off, man. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for visiting with us. Jade, thanks for lurking and calling us lovelies. I love that. You can call me a lovely anytime you want. Anytime. All right, that is well mixed. Now we just go for boil. Let's go back to regular cam for a bit. Ah. Let's Discord vid chat soon. Yeah, man, you know what? I need to carve out some time on one of my days off. Either wake up stupid early in the morning, sometime when you guys, more appropriate for your time of day. That sounds like a good idea. So, for others still watching, that was just something that struck me. This whole, there's no problem with Denzel Washington playing the King of Scotland, but we flip our lids over that not Holly, Hallie. Like halitosis, Hallie.
Well, I remember to Halle Berry.
Yeah.
The actress. She didn't play Ariel.
No, but the girl who played Ariel, her name is Hallie too.
Oh.
I just don't know her last name. But I really do think that if they just said this is the best actress.
Well, because you gotta look at Disney's trend here.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is their trend right now.
Everything they've been doing in the last few years has just been completely politically motivated in some form or fashion.
I think a lot of people would let it slide. I think a lot of people do let it slide. The truth is, you and I, we kind of float on in a few conservative circles that get bent for fun. It's like I'm offended. Are you really offended? No, not really. But I'm gonna pretend I'm offended for fun. It's like all those people, though. The Bill Maher's and the Greg Gutfelds and the Ben Shapiro's and the Jimmy Fallons. Well, maybe not so much Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, but those guys like that, they thrive on the outrage. They thrive on the controversy. Aren't you enraged?
No.
It's like, no, I'm actually not.
Actually.
It doesn't faze me at all.
What's up, kid?
It's good.
Huh?
Is this good?
Parental duties.
Yeah, that's fine. Did you write it down? Huh? Yeah, that's fine. Nobody will guess that.
My kids have never been on camera. It's mainly because my kids don't like me. You're blessed. Actually, my kids like me. Well, Timo does. Timo really likes me. I sometimes wonder what time it is.
29 minutes.
Haven't hit boil yet. Working on it.
I'm a textbook, by the way.
That is a
Do we
very
still have
good
any
boil.
viewers left?
Yeah, we've got 2. So I think Jade's floating, and one of them is us.
Yeah, probably your iPad. Because
Yeah.
the other 2, they had to go because it's late where they're at. You know?
Yeah, so Peter bailed, and then Dan bailed as well. So we're down to probably Jade. So we're probably a cell phone sitting on a bed somewhere on a counter, which is okay. We don't mind. Cheat the algorithm any way you can.
All right.
Mm. I don't know why you didn't think about that for like 6 months ago.
No, I didn't. I'm gonna rig up something else though. I don't want to use my thermometer for that.
I don't know if it damages the thermometer to overdrive it like that, but you are overdriving the thermometer.
Yeah. I mean, boiling is. Well, boiling the water is 212 degrees. That thing only goes like 100.
Well, I think it
It goes
goes
to 220.
It goes to 220, but the problem is when you add as many different solids and proteins and things as we add in there, the boiling point goes up.
Up, yeah.
And so, you could, whatever the little spring or whatever is in there, you might spring it by
Tweaking it, yeah.
keeping it in there. Well, we're down to 1 viewer.
Which is ourselves.
It's probably ourselves. I got to tell you, I've run out of topics.
Yeah.
I wanted to have that conversation about, that whole why it's okay in this situation that nobody freaks out. Over here, people are freaking out. I thought it was a good conversation. The Doctor Who one is very interesting to me. I mean, it's like, on the one hand, who cares what the Doctor is, right? Because truly, it is a Time Lord, and it can manifest as whatever you want.
Sure.
Or whatever it wants.
Whatever it wants, yeah.
Traditionally, it's been a white male. And then it was a female, and I think a lot of people got bent over that.
Some people did, yeah. Actually, I remember hearing some fan backlash, like the Doctor being a female. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, in that case, it doesn't matter. Now, making Thor black, there's the only way you do that is a political statement, and that's where backlash. It's like, no, make your own super, like Black Panther. I don't know if it was the most amazing movie ever, which some people think it was. It was definitely a good movie. I enjoyed the movie, but I thought the best part about it was, look, there's a black story. That is black superhero, original story.
Right, original story.
Do more like
roll
that.
With it. Have fun. Yeah, roll with it.
Apparently, this Echo TV show is supposed to be kind of like that. She's supposed to be Native American, although the drinker didn't like it very much.
I'm not familiar with
it. But I don't always agree with the drinker. Mostly I do. I don't know.
Speaking of drinker, you're like
what?
Really lagging, man.
I am talking about important subjects here. You're right.
What's more important than drinking beer?
Making beer. Ha ha!
Right. After you finish that, we'll move on to one of the canned beers.
Okay. Hey, before I finish that though, it's always random. It's always goofy. We hope you were you not entertained? I would not be entertained, but I like. Goodbye.